Buckle up, friends. I'm going to talk to you about the things that nobody talks to you about. Hi, friend. It's me, Mila Martinico. And today we are going to talk about something a little bit controversial. But you know me, and if you know me, you know that I always keep it real. So I want to talk about intimate time after a tummy tuck. I did so much research, just like hours and hours and hours of watching YouTube and looking at people who were sharing their stories about surgery and everything before I had surgery. And nobody talked about this. So after I had my 360 tummy tuck and lower body lift, which also I had at the same time as a hysterectomy, I felt bamboozled. I'm going to talk to you about the things that nobody talks to you about. I've got my notes, I've got my list, and you know what? This might make some people judgy at me, but at the end of the day, I'm the person who's going to tell you that you have something green in your teeth if you're a stranger. So I'm here. I'm your friend. I'm going to tell you the truth so that if you have surgery, you understand what you're going through if you go through the same things that I went through. Buckle up, friends. We are talking intimate time with your loved one, your spouse, me, in my case, my husband, after a tummy tuck. I had 12 pounds of skin removed. I had 4 pounds of scar tissue removed, and I had a 360 tummy tuck. And when they say like lower body lift, it means that they basically got my butt. And from losing 120 pounds and having 5 cesareans, everything was just saggy. And then I, of course, had that like apron, that I would get like rashes under, and like it was just horrific. But basically, what I'm trying to say is they got my butt and they lifted my butt and they tucked it into itself. So it like gave it a butt lift. So my butt used to have my husband's name, Mateo, on it. And now it's just like the edges of the bottom letters left. And it was like in the middle of my butt cheek. And now that's all the way at the top. So that is what I had done. I think that you don't have to have a 360 to, just kind of feel what I felt or experience what I went through. You don't have to be cut in half all the way around. I believe that this applies for if you have just a tummy tuck or what I had done, which was extensive. It's all extensive, really, because you're, cutting off a part of yourself. The first 6 weeks were, they were rough. I was going through it. It wasn't crazy or anything. I really felt like I was a trooper. I think mentally I was going through it because the swelling is real. So you would wake up in the morning and be like, oh my gosh, look how, flat my stomach is, whatever. And then by the end of the day, when I started measuring it, it's like 5 inches of swelling, and 5 inches is a lot. Okay. So there's that. Something that happened to me was, I think because of all the nerves being cut, I was completely numb downtown. So that means the good feeling button down there for, stimulation, that was completely numb. It felt like it did not exist. And I freaked out. I basically went to my OB and was like, hi, because I had, the hysterectomy done at the same time. And then, so I went to him first because he was my first appointment. So I went to him and I was like, hi, have I been bamboozled? Like, what have you guys done to me? Like, I'm very happy, but like, I'm not happy because how am I supposed to be, intimate with my husband. And he gave me progesterone cream, which I ended up not using after reading just people. I just didn't want to screw up anything that was already happening, and I didn't know, like, we talked about it. He didn't really know if that was tied to that. We didn't know. This was about 3 weeks after I had my surgery, because, I gave it time, because obviously, like, you have drains, you have all that, the most sexy feeling. Hopefully I don't get banned for that word, but like, it did not feel good. Okay. It was not very attractive. Okay. So a not very attractive feeling, having all these things. And then, obviously you're not in the mood. So, but once that 6 weeks comes around, you're definitely feeling it. I'll tell you that right now, or at least I am. I like my husband, So I was really scared, because something that nobody tells you about is that everything is new. So, in certain positions, you have, like the way of the dog, you have extra skin. So before, I would have to like hunch over pillows because I had all that extra skin that swaying back and forth does not feel good. I'm just being graphic, but I don't care. Okay. That's all gone. So all of that weight and all of that pressure is gone, which is wild after, 13 years of, like, since my first cesarean, but then 10 years of 120-ish pound weight loss. And so that was wild. What's crazy is that everything up front is lifted. So all the parts of you that were kind of had a lot of like pressure, like pushing pressure, and all of like the weight of the skin and all of that, that's all gone. So everything is like up. So things are more stimulated because it's up. And I'm happy to say that all feeling came back, but it was gradual. And I think it was because of, when you have a hysterectomy, your insides are completely different, right? I didn't have a full hysterectomy. I had a partial, but they still had to create a cuff in there. So there was stitches up there. I think I might be a little bit abnormal in the stitches department, because my body does not disintegrate stitches fast. It's really, really slow. So we weren't allowed to do things for a while because of the stitches up there. Honestly, I just got the last stitch out of my body had pushed out from the tummy tuck. I just got that out like 3 days ago. And I was like, the last stitch, it finally came out. So, and it is, February. So September, October, November, December, January, February. We're 5 months. 5 months. Actually, 5 months to today. Today is my 5 month. Today's my 5 month search anniversary. So anyways, I don't think it was just a very long process for my inside stitches to heal. So inside is like a brand new person, and then outside is like a brand new person. So I think the biggest thing, now looking at my notes, I described to you my first 6 weeks, but moving forward is having grace for your new body. It's wild. Your parts have changed, it's lifted. Things are placed in different areas. This is crazy, but even your hair down there is different. Because could you really see it before? Now I'm like, all right, okay, this is just who I am. Like, Jungle Jane, like, let's go. I'm like, okay, well, there it is. It's not like up higher, but I guess I just didn't realize how much there was. But anyways, all of that is in a different area. So the biggest thing that I can say to you is have open communication, because the things that worked before don't necessarily work now. And what I mean by that is ways that I was touched before, and ways that, like caressed before, or things I liked before, I don't necessarily like now, because everything is more sensitive. Everything is so different. And the biggest thing that the doctor told me was like, he said, Mila, you're a whole new person. So you have to go, like, you have to explain to your husband that it is like being with a brand new woman. And you know what? That was great advice, because it really is. And you know what? There's something so awesome about learning each other again, and just having this like new spark, new fire, because it's kind of like when, we were first married, and we were married really young. We've been together. He's my teenage love, and so it's been really fun just kind of learning. It's been frustrating, but super fun at the same time, because it's just all so different. And so there are times when it can feel frustrating, because especially if you're a parent, you have to be fast a lot. And sometimes the fast doesn't necessarily work. But the slow times, them slow times are good. They are so good. I just want to express, it's open communication. That's the biggest thing. Telling your partner, hey, I like this now. Touch me this way. Don't do this anymore. Like, it's wild, because everything is so different. There's so much more excitement. I wrote this, the excitement of being able to move differently. Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't able to be bent in half before, but now I can, because there's not like all this excess skin in the way. Lord Jesus, it's so good. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I was able to have this done. Like, I can't even tell you. It's been amazing to feel good in your body. And I still, in a month, am having my upper body lift. So even feeling and struggling with body dysmorphia, this has been such an incredible, like, good thing to help against that, because reconnecting with Mateo has been so good, and just learning. And yeah, it's weird. It's really weird having a new body, and it's really weird just trying to figure out what you like now. So prepare yourself for that. If you are about to have surgery, prepare yourself for being a completely different person. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And it's actually kind of liberating, because parts of me that I was never disgusted with my body, but I was very aware of hanging things, of, pressure, of things jiggling not in a good way. Every guy likes a little butt jiggle, but when you've got a flap of skin jiggling and waving in the wind like God bless America, like, geez, it's painful. Sorry for that mental picture. But anyways, it's so fun to move differently, to learn your body, to be strong, and just be completely different. It's almost like a new lease on life. Another thing I want to say really fast, which I think totally just applies if you have the lower body lift, I want to talk about butt nerve pain and what that feels like. So, Mateo and I are we're touchy-feely people. So, when we walk by each other, we like to like a little smacky smack, That's not happening, because essentially, like, if these are the cheekies, in here, in the middle, it feels good. But on the outside, where, you know, everything was like lifted, all of that area, like on the outside of the peach, it hurts so bad. I'm like, please don't smack me there. Just right in the middle of the cheek, because the outside edges hurt. I think it's just the nerve pain, the connecting pain. If you've had a cesarean, you know of like those like stabby, it's like fiery poker, like bzz, zaps of your nerves reconnecting. That's what happens there. So that's going on like the outer and then on the top of your booty. So there shall be no spanking for you at all if you're into that. But sorry, I don't know why I'm like this. Actually, I do know why I'm like this, because I'm going to be honest with you. So if your guy's walking by, he cannot give you a hard tap. It's got to be a little tap for now. But I'm 5 months in. It was really painful at the beginning. Now it's starting to feel more like my butt. But it's wild how everything is still like numb around your scar. Like my belly button is still numb. The top of my butt's numb. Parts of the side of my butt is numb. And the cheek is like numb on the outside, but you can feel the inside. So it's a weird feeling. I'll tell you what, I went to Costco and I was wearing leggings and like an outer shirt. And my daughter didn't tell me that the outer shirt was tucked into the back of my leggings. And I found out when I went to go load up the car after being stopped by 8 people in Costco who recognized me. That was great because I have no feeling there. And I just like looked at her and I was like, why did you not tell me? She was like, oh, I thought you were wearing it like that. Teenagers. Anyways, okay. That is my little update for you on what to expect. And it's expect the unexpected of being a whole new woman in many different ways. I'm really lucky that Matt is really good about when I tell him something that he'll listen and he doesn't get all defensive or whatever. And something beautiful about being married for a long time is just constantly learning and growing together. And that is especially true after you have a tummy tuck. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments. I'm more than happy to give you an update later as more things happen and as I have a lift and reduction, because I'm really excited about that. It'll be really nice to lay down flat and not have them also laying flat on the bed next to me. And I don't even know what that's like to have them just point straight forward and not down. So that's exciting. But anyways, I love you. I keep it real. And this is today's vlog. And sorry if you're a man and you watch this. Actually, am I sorry? Maybe you should have open communication with your wife and be like, hey, is there something I need to change or something I need to work on? Because wouldn't you like your wife to say that to you? Huh? I love you. Tanti Bachi, friend.